Yeah.
Okay, Chesham now second ball to the
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Borough Radio. My name is James McIntosh, and it's just a number of minutes until our final league game of the season. Gosport have come off of a goalless draw against Hendon, putting us third in the league. And today we are up against champions Chesham, who will be hoping to finish their magnificent season on a win. And their lineup today sees Zach Uliar in goal, 2 Avon Jones, 3 Alexander Laufer, 17 Callum Addy B, 5 Kieran Murphy and their skipper, 14 Eon Casey, 8 to Sean Gallimore, 19 Ryan Upward, 9 Oki Chuka Ubi, 10 James Harden and 11 Jordan Edwards. And your Gosport lineup today sees Toby Stewart in goal, 2 Harry Kavanagh, 3 Rory Williams, 17 Finley Walsh-Smith, 15 Christian Campbell, 6 Charlie Phasma, 7 Bradley Tarbuck, 19 Danny Hollins, 9 Dan Wooden, 8 Harvey Root and 18 Rafa Ramos. And we've just given our away team a round of applause there just to show our respect for them winning the league. And on behalf of the whole media team here at Gosport, we just want to say a massive well done on Chesham for winning the league. Totally deserve it. And we hope to be seeing you next season in the National League South. But now we're just getting into our moment of silence. Sadly, one of our local fans, Snobby, has passed away. And to pay our tributes, all the Gosport players, they are wearing a white T-shirt today saying rest in peace, Nobby. And both sets of teams will be gathering on the byline just to give our round of applause and just to say well done and rest in peace, Nobby. So you're going to hear a minute's applause here on Gosport Radio.
Many miss you, Nobby. Many of us loved him, respected him. Yes, remember him. When you're ready. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And just before the game begins, we'd also like to remember former Borough Manager John Robinson, who also passed away in the week. We'd also like to remember former Borough Manager John Robinson, who also passed away. Is it all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they,
You can't kneel down there.
yeah, and unfortunately, there's nothing over there. That's the problem. We're doing another run. Might still have a problem. Injury. Yeah.
And we are just about to get underway here at the Privet Park with Gosport taking on champions Chesham. And I'm sure you've just heard there we have paid our moments of applause for Nobby. Sadly passed, and let's do it for him today. But it's going to be Gosport from my right shooting to left and Chesham vice versa, playing in their purpley blue shirt today. And an interesting fact for Chesham for you today, they are sponsored by Taskmaster. I'm not sure if he's going to be in a stadium today, maybe in attendance. But yeah, very well-known face on the TV. And the question is, well, Gosport, we've got our own task today. Can we beat the leaders Chesham, and can we somehow snatch that third position? But it's going to be Chesham shooting from my left to right, and it's also going to be them kicking off the half. And we are now underway here at the AI Stadium. And we have kicked off, and it's like I said, Chesham are the team kicking off today. They've only made the one change today. Well, yeah, one change. And surprisingly, it's Ricardo German. He's come out for the away side, and it's a bit of a shock. Played 31 games this season, scoring 31. So it's a big loss for Chesham today. But German, I think he's a massive loss, isn't he, German? And are you a bit surprised not to see him in the starting 11? Or is this a game just where Chesham can give these players fresh legs? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Talking about Ricardo German, yeah?
Yeah.
I think to them, there's not much riding on the game. Of course, for us, there's a lot. Perhaps they're looking at just sort of enjoying the moment. That'd be their last Southern League game for quite a while, if ever. And I think they're just maybe changing it up a bit. But you can't argue with the achievement that Chesham have managed the season. They haven't just won the league; they've won it by a mile.
Well, I remember speaking in March about it. We were already predicting that, Chesham, they were so far ahead at that point, and somehow they still, not somehow, they easily managed to win the league. So in the end, it wasn't really much of a shock, but credit where credit's due. They've been magnificent. And could we maybe be joining them in the National League South next season?
I mean, on social media this morning, I called it the playoff roulette because it really, really is. You don't know. Obviously, until this game's concluded, we're not going to know who or where. And the playoffs themselves are an absolute lottery, James. Nothing's ever guaranteed.
And that's exactly why we love football. But Chesham, they're still on the attack and just demonstrating good possession. But Bradley Tarbuck, he's won a ball in the centre circle, coming forward as he switches out wide into Dan Wooden on the right edge of the box. Dan Wooden still coming forward, but he's been dispossessed by Lafleur. And that was good defensive work by the right back there. And Lafleur, he could be a dangerous defender today. Obviously has bags of experience with Chesham. And looking back, he's played 17 times this season, scoring 3. And fans may remember Alex from his time with Gosport, spending 2 seasons at the club from 2018 to 20. And Jeremy, I'm guessing he's a name that rings a bell, but was he a good player for Gosport?
Yeah, he was a good player. I don't think he sort of hit the heights he wanted to hit. I think he certainly was a solid player for us, but maybe the club or the formation didn't suit him at the time. But that's a long time ago now. That's 5-6 years ago. But I can tell you that Alex has gone on to have an amazing career, and so not least with the Generals this season. He's been part of a championship-winning side. What more can you say?
Well, exactly. He's been doing wonders this season, and so is all the team, really. But Gosport, like I said, we're going to be hoping for that playoff push today, trying to get that third position. And we'll keep you updated with all the scores here on Gosport Radio. 3 minutes into the game, and so far it's been pretty easy. Both teams have had fair spells of possession, and currently there's a bit of a tussle going on towards the dugouts, near the Gosport dugouts, that is. And as a result, Chesham, they have been awarded a throw-in, and it will be number 2 taking their throw-in, which is Jones. A lot of purple bodies now arriving in the Gosport half as Jones passes it back into Casey. Casey on the halfway line exchanges it into 17, which is Addy B. He's only come into the squad today. Hasn't played too many times this season. And like we just said there, a lot of these players, it's just a time where Chesham, it gives them time to celebrate without there being too much stress on the players today. And I think this is going to help Gosport out massively. And considering Salisbury, they're playing Hanwell today, a team fighting for their lives. it almost gives us a free hit as composed.
First of all, get your own house in order, and that's what we're going to have to do today. Dan Wooden trying to find a way through there, James, but got to win your own match. You have to, and then you worry about what's going on elsewhere. Certainly at the moment, this evening, Stevens, we've only played 3 minutes. You cannot, as a player, allow your thoughts to drift to the other matches. You cannot allow it. It's keep your eyes on your own game, and what will be, case or answer.
Well, we have got our first goal in the Southern Premier League. No, we've just seen another goal, and it's all coming from the Merthyr Town Harrow game. Both teams have scored a goal. As for the rest of the Southern League, it's all goalless. But, well, to be fair, I think we were all expecting Merthyr to pick up the 3 points from that game, and we have seen another goal. AFC Tottenham have taken the lead. I suppose it doesn't affect Gosport too much, but still, it's a bit annoying. But, yeah, well, Gosport, it's all in our hands today. We have to get a win, at least to put any kind of pressure on Salisbury.
I think you just got to realise that forget Tottenham. They've got second, barring an absolute miracle turnaround, because Salisbury can still overhaul them. But Tottenham are on form, they're flying, they've got momentum, and they will be, judging by that, they're clear favourites to win the playoffs. But having said that, anything can happen. They might be up against Bracknell on Wednesday and they slip up. You just don't know.
Well, it's all going to occur in the next couple of weeks, and we will eventually find out who will be that other team getting promotion. But we have found out some other scores in the National League South. So Havant and Waterlooville, they'll be joining us. Oxford City, they're coming down, but it's unsure whether they'll be coming down to our league or not.
Probably
so exactly, that's what I was thinking. But no, it'd be interesting to see. So even if we do stay down, we have a good away game next season. But
yeah, you only got to look at the derby.
Exactly.
If they are put in our division and not the Isthmian.
Well, it's the Battle of Hampshire derby, and currently looking at the play going on, Charlie Vasme played a horrific ball, trying to find Rory Williams, our skipper, but in the end, it couldn't match with the skipper's run, and it's gone out for a Chesham throw-in around 30 yards out from goal, as Jones, he takes the throw and tries to keep it in play there just by the byline, but it does roll out for a Gosport throw-in, and it will be that man, Christian Campbell, taking the throw-in. Well, Rory Williams, like they were alluding to, the people in the press box. I'm not sure if you just heard that, but Rory Williams, he is down. Luckily, he's just tying his shoelace, but he has suffered a couple injuries this season, so maybe someone to look out to regarding that.
Well, I think, first and foremost, you've got to think ahead to Wednesday, no matter who the opposition are. And Rory Williams is one of the most experienced players on the pitch.
Exactly.
So you've got to look after him. So if he's in any discomfort, take him off.
Chesham now arriving on the tag. It's Obi coming down this right-hand flank. Obi now trying to get himself into the box. It's Obi up against Rory Williams, and he passes one into Jones. Jones goes for a shot, and it forces Toby Stewart there to get down low to his right, pick up the ball and just gather it. Make sure there's no danger averted. But it's a good stop from a young keeper today, and you'll have to watch out for Gosport social media channels, as we will be speaking to Toby Stewart on a successful season, and he has been nominated for a recent award. But I'm sure Toby won't want to see that back, as he has passed it straight to Lafleur. Lafleur coming down. He's teed it into Edwards. Edward goes for the shot, forces a save from Toby Stewart, and it goes out for a throw down the other side of the pitch. That was close effort from Chesham there, and as a result, it's going to be Gosport taking the throw-in. So the final touch must have come off for a Chesham player there, but Gosport still just trying to get rid of this danger as Harvey Roux loses it to Edwards. Edwards putting in a cross, which is being cleared by Harry Kavanagh, and it falls to the head of Dan Wooden. Can Gosport find a counter-attack? Rafa Ramos has to pick it up by the Gosport dugouts as he passes it back into Christian Campbell. Campbell back into Rafa Ramos, but it's been cut out by 14, Casey that is. Casey back into Gallimore, and it's all been playing around in the central circle. Gosport trying to apply some heavy pressure. In Gosport, they will be trying to look for a win today after that 0-0 draw against Hendon. Gosport, we've picked out 8 points from the possible 15. 2 wins, 2 draws and 1 losses. But Jeremy, that sort of form, is that really promotion form when you're considering other teams who are getting that 5 wins like Salisbury and AFC Tottenham? Looks as though we're starting to struggle now towards the latter stages of this season.
Injuries don't help at all. But I will say this, that's what the playoffs are there for.
Yeah,
I've seen it and I've done it. Okay, we've let's just watch this. Okay, yes, because obviously the last time Gosport won the playoffs was in 2013. Only just scraped in on goal difference on the last day of the season. Nobody gave them a chance. Not a cat's chance in hell of winning those playoffs. But they went up against the second place team, Stourbridge, away, beat them. Then went to 4th place, Hemel Hempstead, away, beat them, promoted. I tell you what, the playoffs are a massive leveler. So when this finishes today, league season's over. It's all about the knockout contest then, and it's a one-off.
Well, it's sudden death.
Sudden death, and it really is. So all this just goes out the window after today.
Well, it'll be exciting. And it's been 8 minutes, nearly played 9 minutes here at the AI Stadium. Still goalless at the AI Stadium. And it's been a scuffed pass on the left-hand flank, which allows for... It was Edwards with a shot from outside of the box, 20 yards away from goal. He wraps his boot around the ball, finding the top right corner. And that's an absolute screamer from Edwards. A goal here just on the 9-minute mark. And it's Chesham who take the lead. Gosport fans won't want to see that. And Gosport heads just dropping. But you can't take that away from Edwards. What a goal that was, just on the edge of the box, wrapping his boot around the ball and slamming one into the top corner. He's played 27 games this season, scoring 8 and adding another goal to that tally. So more or less scoring a goal in every 3 games. And Jeremy, what you saw there, that just shows what a prolific striker he is. Wrapping his boot around the ball, finding that top corner. Toby Stewart, he's got no chance from that. It's just a lovely finish from their striker.
Yep, there's a well-deep top draw. That's all you can say. But are you really surprised? I mean, Chesham are the league champions, therefore they're going to be the best team in the league. They've got that quality all over the park. One mistake and they're going to hurt you. And they certainly did just there, didn't they? So you're tweeting.
Yeah.
So I'll take it for the moment. But yeah, it's the sort of goal you'd expect to come from champions and the quality players that they have in their ranks. And Gosport get us back underway with Rory Williams now on the left-hand side while you're still going there. Just having a look up and seeing what his options are. Not many. I've got to be honest with you. But more the concern for Pat and Joe, I think, is Charlie Wasmer. He's not having the best game so far, I'm afraid. We know he's been ill in the week. Now he's launched a diagonal crossfield ball to Campbell here. Campbell's 2/3 of the way up the pitch. Now he's helped out there by Danny Hollands. Just had to get my breath back there. Now exchanging passes between him, Campbell, and Rafa Ramos. And Campbell back on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Looks to get the cross in. Slightly deflected. The keeper comes, tries to grab. Second time, lucky for the goalkeeper, Zaki Uwala. But he gets Chesham up on the counter-attack, and that's where you come back in.
Well, I was looking at their goalkeeper stats today. It's Zaki Uwala in goal. He's played 14 games this season, and he's been a big reason for Chesham's success. And he's another one of these players where he has bags of experience, playing with the likes of AFC Wimbledon, and even playing in Albania for a bit, which is an interesting fact. But he looks so solid in goal, but I don't think he would want to recreate another one of those moments where he just blundered it a bit there.
Tough one, because it was a high hanging cross, wasn't it? And there were players surrounding him, so you're never going to be 100% a winner in that situation. But I thought under pressure, second time got it and ended the threat from Gosport on that occasion. But what my overriding thinking now is they've already got a mountain to climb. I know they're 1-0 down, but they've got it all to do.
12 minutes played here. It's Chesham 1, Gosport 0. Gosport, we really do need to at least be getting a win in order to be challenging for that third position today. And with that Chesham goal, it hasn't helped at all. And looking at some of the other results in the Southern Premier League, it's currently Beaconsfield 0, Plymouth 0, Bracknell 0, Hayes and Yedden 0, Didcot 0, Hendon 1, Dorchester 0, AFC Tottenham 1, Gosport 0, Chesham 1, Hungerford 0, Basingstoke 0, Merthyr 2, Harrow 1, Salisbury 0, Hanwell 0, Swindon 0, Winchester 0, Tiverton 0, Shola 0, and Walton and Hersham 0, Pooltown 0.
See, that's an interesting one with Merthyr, because they know if they've got any chance of getting into those playoffs, they have to
It's a
win.
must-win.
It's a must-win. They can't not. Simple as that.
Exactly. Well, if not, it's going to be a lot of local teams getting in that playoff position. Obviously, Totten, Salisbury, they're not too far away, and even Bracknell.
Bracknell's an hour and 20 minutes up the road. So, yeah, it's not far at all. It'll be a very localised playoff contest, that's for sure.
Well, it'll be interesting to see who goes up. I was talking about it with a couple of people from our college. I'd say the most probably accumulated response for the favourites was AFC Totten, then followed by Gosport and then Salisbury. But Rafa Ramos, he has won a ball, passing it back into Christian Campbell. We'll return to that point in a minute as Christian Campbell passes one into Harvey Rue. Rue into Dan Wooden, 20 yards away from goal. And Rue places a misplaced pass, but still recovered by Bradley Tarbach. Tarbach wrapping his boot around the ball, trying to curl in a ball, which falls to Christian Campbell on the edge of the box. Taking a shot. He forces a great save from Uala. He has to get down low. He pushes it away. Still danger not averted. Yes, as Lafleur finally clears it. And that was a good effort there from Christian Campbell, trying to bury it towards that bottom corner. And Christian Campbell, we've said it so many times this season, if we are going to get that goal, it could very well come down that left flank with Christian Campbell. But at the moment, it's being played down the right with with Harry Kavanagh as he passes it into Hollins, back into captain Roy Williams. Williams tries to get a free ball. It takes a nasty deflection. Uwala has to come and collect it. It looked as though it was edging in towards the near post. But no, I don't think Gosport could have had a much better chance there with Christine Campbell. It was a perfect chance to shoot, and that's what he did.
On site there because they've tried to play in the last few home games too much pretty football in and around the last third. He saw the whites of the post, he went for it, and look, that nearly resulted in a goal. Really good save from the keeper, by the way. But they've got to be more positive, Gosport, but they are starting to play. That last passage of play there, James, was really good.
Still, Christine Campbell coming down this left-hand channel in a new attack. He's got Harvey Rue arriving behind him. Will he choose to overlap? He does, with Harvey Rue taking an immediate across, and he plays it into the palms of Ula, and that was a wasted opportunity there from Harvey Rue. Hasn't had too much game time, so I said, is it a bit of a shock seeing him in the starting 11 today?
No, because he's still an experienced player, and he'll be disappointed with that, I think. But don't forget, Harvey Rue at the start of the season was on fire. You couldn't stop him. But he's had an injury. He struggled to get his form back, but he's going to be vital for the playoffs. I think, you've got to look beyond today in terms of the players and what they offer you. He could be a big game player for whoever it is we're facing.
Quarter of an hour played. Still Chesham 1, Gosport 0. It's Charlie Fassman now coming forward as he passes it into Downward in the centre circle. Now Dutchy Hollins lifts one forward into Harry Kavanagh on the right-hand flank as he passes one forward into Bradley Tarbuck, now starting to arrive in the box, but he's dispossessed by Lafleur. And Lafleur, he looks to be a really solid defender. Obviously, we spoke about it earlier, how he used to play for Gosport. And at the moment, I would say he's been the favourable of Tarbuck and Kavanagh. He's not letting anything go through them. And for me, if Gosport want to find any success, it does look as though it's going to have to come down that left flank.
Well, it's certainly their most promising avenue so far, isn't it? And Campbell's a tricky customer, not unknown to Chesham, of course, because he lives up in London.
Yeah.
And, he'll be known to them. And no doubt they'll have done the homework. But for me, he is the best Gosport Borough player on that pitch at the moment. And let's just see how this game develops from here.
Ula, he plays the ball out wide into Jones. Now Christine Campbell trying to apply heavy pressure. Now Rafa also trying to chase it down. But it's gone all the way back into Uala as he plays one forward into Lafleur. Now Lafleur might be able to break here as he's come forward, just getting past the halfway line. Still coming forward, Lafleur. Is anyone going to stop in this? Dutchy Hollins sticks out a leg and Gosport win back possession. Now a wave of yellow coming forward. Bradley Tarbuck leading that tsunami line. Out wide into Kavanagh as he crosses one forward into Harvey Rue. Harvey heads one backwards into Christine Campbell, and Christine Campbell can keep it in play just by the left byline as he's taken down by Jones. There's no appeals, and it looked as though he did get the ball there. It was a good defending challenge from Jones, and it's a shot from Charlie Fassman. What the hell was that? From 35 yards out, he took a shot, rifled one miles over the bar. I think that was quite ambitious from the defender there.
Rugby ground's a mile down the road. But yeah, Charlie, they've obviously, I think, all seriousness, jokes to one side, I think they've possibly been instructed to shoot on sight.
Yeah.
And why not? But that was an ambitious blessing.
Well, it'd be interesting to see if that's what Pat and Joe said to the players, because we're not seeing so much fancy passing, like you said, where they're trying to constantly find that perfect pass. And they are taking a shot. And if I'm being honest, it's definitely making for a more interesting game. And it looks as though we might be able to find that equaliser soon.
Yes, I think we've just got to be positive. We've just got to keep playing with momentum and precision. And if we can do that, then why not? But it's if we keep making mistakes at the back and we're too sloppy with our passing, then there's no better team to punish you than the league champions.
Well, you couldn't have put any better there. And it was Finley Walsh-Smith who was fouled, the number 17. And another player who I'm a bit shocked to see is starting today. Injuries, they're a big reason why we're seeing so many of these players start today. But Finn Walsh-Smith, he hasn't played too many games. And to be playing in a game of this standard with so much hype around it, was it a bit risky playing such a young player today?
No, because I think Finn's a very assured young man. And don't forget, he played a lot of pressure games last season when we were trying to stay up rather than fighting for playoffs. We were trying to fight for our lives. And Finn Walsh-Smith was first blooded under Sean Gale. And he's consistently shown a maturity that I don't see in many players of his age. So I don't think it'll phase him. And if Corey Jordan's not fit for Wednesday, he'll play again.
Rory Williams playing a through ball into Harvey Rue on the edge of the box. Harvey surrounded by players in purple and blue. But it was a final touch from Maddie Beer there that takes it out for a Gosport throw-in. It's going to be Christine Campbell taking it just by the left corner flag. 20 minutes played here. You're listening to Gosport Radio. It is Chesham 1, Gosport 0. Can Gosport find a goal through this throw-in? It's a throw-in. It's passed to Rafa Ramos, back into Christian Campbell, but he's bombarded with blue Chesham bodies around him. A ball has been drilled into the centre of the box. It did look as though the final touch, it did take a nick off of Murphy as he headed one out just over the bar, and it will be a Gosport corner, their first of the game, and it's going to be Harry Kavanagh taking this corner. And it was a good opportunity there, Jeremy, for Gosport to find maybe a heading opportunity. Well, Jeremy's just taken a mint, so and we found a goal! It's Dodgy Hollins with a goal as he's running behind the stands, celebrating with all the fans, and it was a short corner. Harry Kavanagh whipping the ball in far towards that deep post. Danny Hollins just smashing one past Ula. Keeper has no chance. The ball just smashed right into that top corner, and it's Dutchy Hollins who finds the equaliser on the 19-minute mark, just before the 20-minute mark, and Gosport find their equaliser.
Gentlemen, Gosport Borough equaliser on 20 minutes. The scorer number 19, Danny Hollins.
And you can just hear the AEI Stadium erupting there. And Danny Hollins, I love the celebration going into the fans there. Something we don't often see, but when you've got that many fans here today, it's great. And that's found our equaliser. Can Gosport find a second soon? It's Gosport. We've already won back the ball. But Jeremy, what a goal that was from Dutchy Hollins. And I normally criticise these corners, but you couldn't have asked for a much better corner there.
No, and that goal came from nothing. And excuse me, just having a... But yes, it was a goal that came from nowhere, but that was fantastic. And look at the difference in the atmosphere now. And Gosport got their tails up. So good. Okay, we've overcome the setback of going a goal down. Got to keep this going now. Let's look at the positivity. You're tweeting, so I'll take over. I'm lunch free. Now, Chesham breaking forward through the centre circle, just having to check back. Diagonal ball out to the right-hand side. Sort of comes back in towards the run of Ogo Obi. Just crossing from the right-hand side. Gosport need to be very, very careful here. Trying to shape to shoot, but Gosport have dealt with it. I'm just trying to see who it is that's wearing the number 21 shirt out there, because it's certainly not listed on the team sheet. I might have to ask our Chesham colleague down the end. But it's a material at the moment, because Campbell is in possession of the ball on the halfway line, on the left-hand side now, looks up, just saunters. He could be out for a Sunday stroll, really. Cuts inside to Tarbuck on his right, but a little too casual from Brad. Chesham intercept, but then lose the ball. Tarbuck brings the ball back to Toby Stewart. Now, what's the referee doing? He's indicating a throw-in, so the ball clearly left the field by half an inch, but it'll be a Chesham throw on the right-hand side. It's number 2, Avon Jones for this. 21. And we're just, now it's James Harding wearing 21, so now we know that. The ball is back with Zaki Olala, the goalkeeper. Now he's trying to get Chesham off and running on another attack. It's Lafleur down the left-hand side. Long ball towards the run there of Jordan Edwards, the goal scorer. He's into the penalty area. Charlie Wasmer equal to him, not once but twice. Charlie just getting the ball away from the danger man, who's already scored that top draw goal. The referee keeping an eye on that challenge, but happy with it. Hollins in just outside the centre circle. Here's Tarbuck just on his inside. Tarbuck looking up. He picks out Ramos ahead of him, but Ramos has lost possession there. Here's to Sean Gallimore. Gallimore through, sees sight of goal, goes for a goal. Oh, just to the left of that post. And I'll tell you what, the shot had swerved, and it was swerving away from that far post as well for Toby Stewart and Gosport there, James. That was close.
Well, I'm not sure how he didn't score from there. It looked as though it just curled a little too much around that left post. And it was Chesham there immediately on the attack. And it was that danger man once again coming forwards. And Gosport maybe just lucky there not to concede their second of the game.
Yeah, they were, because the mistake was back here outside the centre circle, and Gallimore just literally marched down the pitch almost unopposed. You cannot be doing that.
Well, for me, Gallimore, he's one of their danger men, and we've seen him so many times in the Chesham shirt, where he's a midfielder who can get forward. He's a box-to-box midfielder, playing 31 times for the Generals. He's a British Virgin Islands international midfielder, so he has got that bags of international, and even played in the World Cup qualifiers. So, very cool player, to be honest. Yeah.
There's not many players get the chance to represent their country, let alone in the World Cup qualifiers. So, fair play.
Well, it's things you love to see in the Southern Premier League, just showing how good this English Football League is. But as Donny Holland's now arriving, as he passes one into the left flank into Christian Campbell. Christian Campbell with a good first touch as he tries to use his skill to get past Jones. And he does well to do that before eventually delivering the ball. It's a low-driven cross, trying to find Rafa Ramos in the middle of the box. Unable to do that, but it's been cleared out for a Gosport throw-in with Christian taking the throw-in as he passes one forward into Rafa Ramos in the box. As he puts the ball in, finds Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden taps it home. And he finds his 30th goal this season. And what a goal that was by the Gosport veteran. Showing exactly why he is so good. He was a man who secured Gosport's playoffs last season, and he's been so important in these playoff games. And it looks as though we could be ever important in these new playoffs, as he's got the lead here at the AEI Stadium. It was a lovely ball in from Rafa Ramos, just finding the striker counterpart before Dan Wooden eventually smashed one by Ula. And on the 25-minute here, it's Gosport who take a 2-1 lead. You got to applaud Dan Wooden, but for me, that goal, it came from Rafa Ramos, exactly showing why he's one of our best players in the team.
That has been Rafa's highlight of the recent few weeks, I would suggest. He's strong, he's physical, and he can set chances up. But I tell you what's better for me, he linked up really well with Campbell in the build-up to that goal. But Chesham, where was the marking? Wooden was unopposed. He literally had acres, and if he'd have missed that, I'd have been saying, "Why have you done that, Dan?" But well, a turnaround. Would you imagine that? So. You're tweeting, so I'll take over again. So quite the turnaround. Gosport now leading 2-1, and I believe, unless Salisbury have scored, they're now heading for third as things stand. And let's just put that caveat in there at all times. Salisbury have scored, so Gosport are still fourth as things stand, but at least they're doing what they need to do. If they win and Salisbury win, nothing to be done. It'll be fourth and away to Salisbury on Wednesday. But anyway, back to today. Gosport now just trying to force a way down the right-hand side and failing. And Ramos is involved in that move over there, but the player's broken up by the Generals. They're just trying to pick something of a passage down through the middle. Now this to Sean Gallimore here on the edge of the centre circle. Links up well in fact, Chesham moving the ball from left to right. Now this is Aidan Jones, who has been quite a lively player in my opinion so far. And still, back to Gallimore, the two players linking up well once more. Chesham just calming things down out there now. They've conceded twice in 4 minutes. Now they need to calm things down a little from their point of view. Ball over the top towards, I think that might be James Harding out there, who made a run towards Toby Stewart, who had to get out of goal on the double there to try and shut the chance down for Chesham. But Chesham now, James, they won't know what's hit them. 1-0 up and they're 2-1 down.
Well, it's been 3 goals here in the AEI Stadium, and it's 25 minutes played here. It's Gosport 2, champions Chesham 1. You would not believe it. Well, we lost to them, I think it was 2-0 at the start of the season, more or less. And it's a complete change. And if we can hold on to this win and somehow Salisbury, drop points today, we will get that third position and we will get that home playoff game.
Night is young yet, James. We've got a long way to go. I still think Hanwell will be making life very difficult for Salisbury. Fair play to Salisbury for scoring, but Hanwell fighting for their lives. They're not assured of safety. So you will think that they'll be throwing everything they've got at Salisbury this afternoon. So that will play into our hands, but only if they actually manage to do it.
Well, as the ball is out of play, I'll run you through some of the results in the Southern Premier League. It is Beaconsfield 0, Plymouth Parkway 0, Bracknell 0, Hazelmead 0, Didcot 0, now Hendon 1, Dorchester 0, AFC Tottenham 1, Gosport 2, Chesham 1, Hungerford 1, Basingstoke 0, Merthyr 3, Harrow 1, Salisbury 1, Hanwell 0, Swindon 0, Winchester 0, Tiverton 0, Sholing 0, and Walton and Hersham 1, Pooltown 0. And Gosport, they're on the attack once again. It's Harvey Rue coming forward as he switches one out wide into Christian Campbell. Campbell now arriving more central. He's got Roy Williams to the left of him, and he does choose that option. Roy Williams plays a through ball into Harvey Rue. Harvey Rue now in the box. Playing the ball into Rafa Ramos, but it's been cut out by Addy B there. And it's gone to Jones on the left-hand side, just by the corner flag, as he smashes one forward, trying to find Edwards there. And now Edwards, he's in the central circle. He plays a lovely ball into Obi. Obi through on goal. He's got acres of space. And what a save that is by Toby Stewart. Comes out of goal. Great positioning. Gets down low to get that boot to the ball. Flies miles over the crossbar in the end from the ricochet. And that's exactly why he's been nominated for Step 3 Non-League Keeper of the Year.
And a strong contender for a number of other awards as well, I would say. But Yeah, fantastic save from the young man there. Kept Chesham out, and that's the difference between 2-1 and 2-2.
Well, the question is, surely Obi must have done so much better there. He had all the time in the world, no Gosport players surrounding him. Why not just try and maybe chip it over him, just slot it in the bottom corner? It was poor attacking play there from Chesham, but you can't take anything away as the ball has been lifted in towards the far post, and it hits the post, and it's gone in from Casey. It's the captain who gets the goal. Casey. It's his 200th start in Chesham, playing 26 times this season for the Champions season.
Owen Casey.
Was it Owen Casey? I wasn't sure. I heard you guys say it's Kieran Murphy.
No.
I would have said Casey.
14.
It was Casey, was it?
Can we check the goal, please? I'm sure it was, but I just want to be 100% sure. Thank you.
And it looked as though it was Ian Casey there. He joined Chesham in 2018 after leaving Potter's Bar, making 46 appearances in the 2017-18 promotion season, even scoring 31 goals. And he's got another goal here today. And with that goal, it goes back into 2-2. Well, Jeremy, it was another corner which resulted with a goal, but poor defending from Gosport there.
Yeah, the marking was much too lax. Much too lax, and I'm just waiting to see what's coming back up. We're having the goal checked and confirmed. I think it was Casey, but we just wanted to be 100% sure.
Yeah, Casey.
Right, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Chesham United equaliser on 28 minutes. The scorer number 14, Owen Casey.
You can definitely hear a couple boos here at the AI Stadium.
I wasn't quite sure. I thought, but wasn't sure. Right, so James is tweeting. So we've confirmed the goal. We just had it checked. Now, Danny Hollins has been shown a yellow card. Didn't quite see what for, but Danny's a very combative player. He's still trying to make his point to the referee, even though the referee's now gone and getting on the game and looking away. But Chesham now back on level terms. You, as I said, with a team of this quality, you cannot be making mistakes like that, I'm afraid. And Gosport have made 2 and been punished twice. So 100% conversion rate on mistakes. But as I've always said about playoff matches, what will be will be. And if it is going to be 4th, then Gosport will go to Salisbury in the midweek and have a right go at it.
Well, I must say, if we were neutral watching this, this must be up there for one of the games of the season we've seen so far from a Gosport POV. Admittedly, there will be a lot of nerves on show today from both, well, the fans and the players today, even Pat and Joe, I suppose. But I must say, it's been a brilliant game. So far, 4 goals we've witnessed within the first half an hour.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It would be nice if we got to see an 8-goal thriller today. We got a VAO camera on show today, so we might actually be able to get some highlights out, which would be a nice change. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, our one, it's in Spain at the moment. So if we can try and get Chesham's, yeah, in Spain, going to their manufacturer.
I was going to say, right. I was going to say, what on earth is it doing down there?
I know. Unless it's gone to Barcelona, but
I would imagine they could afford about 100 of those things.
well, it's Harvey Roux. He's won back the ball in Gosport possession as he plays one into Rafa Ramos just on the edge of the box. But his pass finds the hands of Uala, and Rafa just taking his frustration out there with the sponsor boards. Not as good as his earlier cross, which found down Wooden. Just a bit unlucky, and the angle didn't favour the Portuguese there.
Yeah, and Rafa, again, central to a good move for Gosport Borough. Hey, Chesham are on the move again. So it's
really end-to-end stuff.
It's breathless, isn't it? That's the word I'd use. It's breathless.
Well, like I said, it's coming from someone who's commentating on the game. It definitely makes the game that 10 times better.
Oh, absolutely. if you're trying to describe a dull 0-0, it's I've done a few of those.
Like that Hendon game last week.
Yeah, it can be very difficult to keep interest. But this is just chances. It's end-to-end. There's intrigue, and obviously there's consequence on the end of it. So it's all you want.
Well, it's Murphy currently inside of his own half, passing one into Lafleur. And Chesham, they're trying to create an attack, looking as though they were originally trying to get it down that left flank. But it's been passed back into the middle, into Murphy. As he launches the ball forward into the run of Obi. Can Obi get the ball? It's a brilliant first touch, which takes him past Harvey Roux. Obi still coming forward as he plays one back. Who's it going to fall to? Will it fall to Rafa? Will it fall to Upwood? But it falls to Chesham possession. Now it's Casey coming down. He's already got 1 goal this afternoon as he passes it back into Gallimore. into upward. It's now in the left-hand flank with Lafleur. Chesham just taking their time with this attack. Now upward. Around 30 yards out from goal, but he's been dispossessed by Charlie Vasma there. It's a good interception, but he immediately loses it to Edwards. And I must say, Vasma, he's having a bit of a stinker today.
Yeah, he's having a mare. And I hate saying that because I've got a lot of respect for Charlie, but he's having a mare. And he needs to know. And then Dan Woodham's caught offside. But he's such an experienced player. And you've got to also, the counter argument is he's not been well this week, hasn't had a lot of game time since he's come back from his injury. So, yeah, but hopefully things will improve for him.
Upward, winning the ball, trying to play across into Jones. It's a good touch from Jones. Now Jones up against Christian Campbell. Jones was appealing for a handball there. The referee does agree as he gives it for a handball. And consequently, Chesham, they will be given a free kick 20 yards away from goal, taken by this right-hand flank. I would imagine it could be Jones taking this free kick. He has taken a number of corners this game, one outputting with a goal. And can Chesham maybe find another goal? Nope, he's leaving it, and it looks as though it's going to be, I believe that could be Edwards. Yes, Edwards taking it.
Edwards, yeah. Dangerous times for Gosport here, James. They're going to have to really get their concentration levels absolutely spot on.
Well, it's a two-man Gosport wheel. Christian Campbell and Harvey Roux, they're the people in the wall at the moment. But let's see what Edwards can do from this. Just repositioning the ball. And I don't think that's allowed. He's taking it very quickly.
No, the referee's not having it. He wants him to take it again. He said it was a rolling, moving ball.
Exactly.
He's indicated a moving ball.
Well, it did output with a goal. It was upward with the finish there, but it's not going to count, luckily for Gosport. Well, not luckily. It wouldn't have counted anyway with the rules of the game.
It's come straight from the training ground, that has. But moving ball, quite rightly stopped and ball down.
So Edwards, he's going to be taking another free kick, this time against the one-man Gosport wall. And it's been drilled in towards the centre of the ball. It did look as though it forced a save from Toby Stewart before Bradley Tarbuck hoofed one over the Gosport bar.
Yes, now that was a bit more conventional, wasn't it, that free kick? But and also very unconventional defending there.
Definitely.
That could have gone absolutely anywhere.
Oh, went straight into the route of Toby Stewart there.
I was going to say, that should have been a Chesham corner.
Well, Tarbuck, he was the man who smashed it over. Unless it took a final nick.
Maybe it did, because that's the only way I can think, unless the referee's got it badly wrong there.
Well, Roy Williams, he does play a ball into Rafa Ramos on the halfway line. Rafa shielding off of Casey. Rafa just using his strength. It's one of his main attributes as he passes one back into Roy Williams. And Williams switches it into the right flank into Tarbuck. Tarbuck has to head it back into Finley Walsh-Smith. Walsh-Smith, the young defender, taking his time with the ball as he's got three bodies around him, all Chesham colours. Now Charlie Vasman plays a free ball into Roy Williams. Now inside of the Chesham half. Rory, he's picked out a lovely ball into Rafa Ramos. Rafa tries to play a ball into Dan Wooden, but once again finds Glavsevuala. And you can see what Gosport are doing here. It starts with Roy Williams. They try and get that ball to Rafa Ramos. And then the final pass is Rafa trying to get that ball into Dan Wooden. And you can see that clear tactic here from Gosport.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, in the time it's taking you to do that, got Chesham down the other end again.
Yeah.
It's totally breathless.
Well, Gosport, we have now got a throw in. It's going to be Kavanagh taking this throw in. Just telling all his players to get up as he passes it into Charlie Vasma. Vasma slices the ball, which has been cut out. But it's good defending there from Roy Williams as he dispossesses Obi. Now Rafa, he's trying to win a ball, and he passes it back into Roux. Roux, back into Rafa. Rafa finds the top left corner. What a goal that is from the Portuguese. That's his 28th goal of the season in all competitions. And I doubt he's going to get many goals better than that. It was Harvey Roux found the free ball into Rafa Ramos. Rafa Ramos with a lovely first touch before eventually guiding one past Adi Boye and then slashing the ball into that top left corner. Ula has no chance. And that is Rafa Ramos' 28th goal of the season.
In the 37th minute, the scorer, number 18, Rafa Ramos.
Well, Rafa Ramos, we were just saying there, it came from that pass once again from Harvey Roux. And what a goal that was from Rafa. 5 goals within the 38 minutes. This definitely has to be the game of the season.
It's mad. It's mad. It's utterly mad. But what a strike from Ramos.
Tottenham
got-
2-0 up.
And Gosport back in front, and Tottenham we're hearing 2-0 up. Not
So
really a
Salisbury
surprise.
2-0 up as well.
Salisbury 2-0 up. So no matter what, at the moment, we're going to Salisbury on Wednesday evening, no matter what happens at the moment. But here we go again. Gosport coming forward. Campbell going for goal this time. Not quite so accurate, I'm afraid. A bit more optimistic, and that will be a goal kick to Chesham. But oh my goodness me, what a game we have here. Topsy turvy isn't the word for this. We're still, we've still got 7 minutes of the first half left.
Yeah.
So yeah, breathless. So I just literally needed a second there to get my own thoughts together as James is tweeting. But wow. Okay, so situation as it stands then, Gosport 3-2 up, but still heading for fourth spot in the league, which I think is still a fantastic achievement in the context that last year was a relegation battle until the last 10 days of the season. And now Chesham coming forward again at the other end. Now Wasmer just screens the ball as it finds its way through to Toby Stewart. But here they come again. Now, Paul Smith is right in the middle of the heat of battle today. The young lad who has got a good future ahead of him. Just a little too long with the pass there, but you can't really criticise him. He kept his head and it was the right idea. Chesham coming out, building up from the back again. Lafleur, once again playing against his old club. Had 3 seasons here at the AEI before moving on, and was always a solid performer. Maybe a little bit before his time, but now he's matured and playing some good football with Chesham United.
Well, I have to admit, you obviously hope for a Gosport win, but I just could not see this coming. 5 goals within the first 40 minutes. And you know what even makes it even better? Rafa, he's got an assist, a goal, and I've got the privilege of interviewing him tonight about a certain, perhaps award. So you'll find out a bit more about that, Gosport fans, in the next, couple of days, I would imagine. I'm not sure when we're confirming it, but there's some good news regarding Rafa.
Hopefully he'll be staying next year.
Oh,
fingers crossed. And
definitely.
well, he's the sort of player, no matter what happens in the playoffs, you want to be building a team around him. And also, you're probably going to be having to look a little bit longer term, because I can't see the careers of Dan Wooden and Rory Williams lasting too much longer, with no disrespect to both players. But I hope they sort of carry on next year. But they're both in their 30s now, and they've both sort of been playing football since the early 2000s. So,
well done. He's been exceptional, but for me, Rafa, he's been the player of the season.
yeah, one of many. You've got to look at him. You've got to look at Toby. You've got to look at Brad Tarbuck. You've got to, Danny Hollins. The list just goes on and on and on of the consistent performance this year.
Well, Gosport, they do lead 3-2 here at the AEI Stadium. It's got to be game of the season for me. And Chesham, currently they've got possession. And can they find the 6th goal of the game? Just within the first half as well. If this is the first half, what are we going to see in the second half?
Who knows?
We generally could be on track for an 8-goal thriller. And would that not just be lovely?
Oh, well, I think entertainment in the last few home games has been a bit of a premium. So it's lovely to see this, where you've had 5 goals in 38 first half minutes. And yeah, it's amazing entertainment. And Chesham just playing the freedom that comes with having won the championship. And there's nothing riding on the game. Gosport, a team that are trying to position themselves as best they can for the playoffs, are playing with the momentum that they need to. So that, I think, makes for a great game.
Well, exactly that. And Chesham, they have dished in a deep ball. Can it find the run of Harding? Harding is brought down to the floor by Charlie Vasmer there, but it's being cleared by Christine Campbell. And it's a poor pass from Murphy, which allows it to return back into Gosport possession. Rory Williams turning and passing it back into keeper Toby Stewart before he eventually clears it. Let's say it was a clearance, but it finds the head of Christine Campbell there. And Gosport once again on the attack. It's Harvey Roux coming forward as he's pushed to the floor there by Edwards. Fans not happy with that decision. Now Chesham, it gives them a chance to break here. It's Upward coming forward, striding down the centre of the park. He passes one into Obby, back into Upward. Upward, trying to deliver a through ball, but Kavanagh's just going to allow the ball to run out of play, and it goes out for a Gosport goal kick. And another thing that I think's been brilliant today, it's not just the performance on the pitch, it's the performance off of the pitch as well. Like I would say, there's easily over 1,000 here today, and it's just this ongoing support once again here at the AEI Stadium.
I think it's going to be about 1,200, 1,003. I think when you get the count later on. We're certainly clear of 1,000. There's no question in my mind of that. But yeah, I think, to be honest, if we'd had, and it's looking unlikely with the situation as it stands now, but if we did have a home semi-final on Wednesday, I think you crack 2,000 easily.
42 minutes played here, just 3 left to play. You're listening to Gosport Radio. It is Gosport 3, Champions Chesham 2. We've said it a lot of times this broadcast, but what a game it's been. It's Gosport. We might be trying to look for that 4th goal before the half-time whistle. But Chesham, they are in possession at the moment as Lafleur launches one forward, but it finds Danny Hollins, who lifts one into the air. Finn Wolfsmith, he's brought to the floor there by Obi, but referee plays on. But it doesn't matter. It stays in Gosport possession. It's in Rory Williams. He's currently inside of the Gosport D. Rory just looking for a pass forward. So there's not too many options in front of him. He's just going to take his time as he passes it into Harvey Root. Harvey is that box-to-box midfielder, and he's passed one into Harry Kavanagh. He's in the centre of the pitch as he tries to lift the ball into Dan Wooden. Dan heads it back into Rafa. And there's a mix of headers, which sees Dan pass it out wide into Christian Campbell. Christian, 20 yards away from goal. He's trying to edge towards that box. He passes one back into Harvey Root. Harvey Root out wide into Danny Hollins in this left-hand flank. Hollins looks up, passes it into Harvey Root. But it's been dispossessed by Adi Bayi there. And now Chesham, they look to clear it with a Jones lifting one forward, but finds the head of Charlie Vasmers. He heads one forward, finding Gallimore. Returns back to Chesham possession. Minutes left to play here.
Gentlemen, the referee has indicated there will be a minimum of 2 minutes of added time. 2 minutes.
As you just heard there from Jeremy, 2 minutes left to play here of additional time. Can Gosport hold on to this 1-0 lead? It's Finley Will-Smith currently battling Obi down that left corner flag as he lifts one forward, which does find Dan Wooden thanks to a smart run, and he smashes one forward. Rafa, he's trying to chase onto it, but it's been headed out by Gallimore. But Dutchy Hollins manages to get onto that loose header as he passes one out wide into Christine Campbell. Now Campbell darting down this left-hand channel. He's got Roy Williams on the overlap, but passes one back into Danny Hollins. Hollins, already 1 goal this afternoon. Can he find another as he tosses and turns? Passes it into experienced defender Roy Williams. Now into Rafa Ramos on the edge of the box. Rafa, he passes one back into Roy Williams. Still, Gosport just continuously trying to play it down this left-hand flank as he passes it back into Finley Wolfsmith in the centre circle. Finn, what will he do here? Gosport just look to try and be taking their time now. Maybe waiting for that half-time whistle. Charlie. Gosport coach is just telling all the players to get up as he passes one forward into Dan Wooden. Charlie plays one into Rafa, which falls to Christine Campbell, and it's been smashed out by Murphy. And there will be one late Gosport corner in this game. And I would imagine this will be the last chance of the game. Gosport's 3rd corner of the game. And can they do anything with it, Jeremy?
Got a minute or so of the 2 added minutes to play here, James. And yeah, it'd be nice to get another one to go into the interval with, perhaps. But let's not be optimistic. Let's not be sort of overly pessimistic. Gosport flooding the box with yellow shirts. They're keeping only 2 back. And even Tarbuck's wandering up. So let's see what comes of this.
Well, it's going to be Harry Kavanagh, the defender, taking it as he raises his hands, signalling for the corner. Harry Kavanagh with the ball hitting towards the middle. It's punched away by Uala. Can Harvey Root get on the end of it? He can't. But now Obi, it gives him a chance to break. But the referee on the far side waves his flag as it marks for a Chesham foul. Murphy not happy with the foul. I think he wanted the yellow card there, but no, I wouldn't say there was that much in it, if anything.
Foul, end of story, free kick, move on.
Well, it's going to be Uala taking this late free kick, maybe giving Chesham a late chance to find a goal, maybe find that equaliser. Uala launches one forward, and it might just find the run of 21. We haven't seen him on the, well, we haven't even got him on the team sheet, so we don't know who that is. Oh, number 10. So it's Harden then. But it's Roy Williams coming forward down, like I said, the left-hand flank. Tries to play a through ball, and the ricochet takes it to Rafa Ramos. He's battling against Obi as he passes one back into Christine Campbell. Now Rory back into Rafa. Rafa battling and still striding forward as he dances past multiple players. Can Rafa get this final pass? He plays the pass. It's been punched away by Uala, and the follow-up is smashed over by Harvey Root. And that is the final action of the half as it finishes Gosport 3, Chesham 2. And what a game it's been. I'll run you through the results in the Southern Premier League here at half-time. So it's Beaconsfield 0, Plymouth Parkway 0, Bracknell 0, Hazen Yedden 0, Didcot 0, Hendon 2, Dorchester 0, AFC Tottenham 2, Gosport 3, Chesham 2, Hungerford 1, Basingstoke 0, and there has been a red card in that game, with Hungerford being sent down to 10 men. Merthyr 4, Harrow 1, Salisbury 2, Hanwell 0, Swindon 1, Winchester 0, Tiverton 1, Sholing 0, and Wootton and Hersham 2, Paul 0. So it finishes here at the AI Stadium 3-2, and we're returning the second half.
Are we ready for the
What a game. Welcome back to the second half commentary here on Gosport Radio. The first half finished Gosport 3, Chesham 2. And I'm sure all you guys will be hoping for a similar score in the second half. Hopefully just as many goals, and hopefully Gosport can keep that win. I'll run you through both sets of teams though. Chesham, they've already come out of the dugout, so we're just waiting for the Gosport team now to come out. But I'll run you through the Chesham team while we're at it. So it's Saki Ula in goal for them, 2 Aaron Jones, 3 Alexander Lafler, 17 Callum Adibi, 5 Kieran Murphy and their skipper, 14 Ewan Casey, he's the man who got the goal, 8 to Sean Gallimore, 19 Ryan Upwood, 9 Okilorka Obi, 10 James Harden, and 11 Jordan Edwards. And your Gosport lineup today, and that's timed perfectly as they're currently running out. But their lineup today sees Toby Stewart starting goal, 2 Harry Kavanagh, 3 and our captain Rory Williams, 17 Philly Walshsmith who comes in for his first game, 15 Christian Campbell, 6 Charlie Vasmer, 7 Bradley Tarbuck, 19 Danny Hollins who got one of your 3 goals, 9 Dan Wooden who got another goal, 8 Harvey Rue, and 18 Rafa Ramos who also got the 3rd goal. And so far he's been my man of the match. He's got 1 assist, 1 goal, and so far looking forward he's just been looking outrageously good. He's scored 1 goal, slotting 1 into the top left corner. But before I talk about a bit more about the second half, we can confirm there will be a substitute, and Gosport fans, you won't want to hear it. It's going to be that man, Ricardo German, coming on. 31 games, 31 goals. Absolutely ridiculous stats. He's currently laughing with the bench at the moment. We're just trying to work out who's coming off, but we're not too sure currently. We haven't seen any board at the moment, but it will definitely be Ricardo German coming on. It looks as though it could be. I think it's Harden. No, upwards, sorry. 19 upward. I can't see 19. Well, we haven't had any board here at the AEI Stadium, but it is Ricardo German coming on. It's going to be Gosport shooting from my left to right and vice versa for Chesham. Yeah, Ryan Upward.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chesham United substitution at the break. Coming on number 20, Ricardo German. Coming off 19.
19 upward.
And coming off number 19, Ryan Upward.
And we're underway here at the AEI Stadium. It's Gosport who kicks us off. And Jeremy, we've just heard that substitution there. Ricardo German coming on. He got a goal against us, and he's got 31 other goals in this season. And it looks as though he's just going to be a menace when coming on.
Well, clearly, Chesham don't want to lose here. You know, just because they've already won the championship doesn't mean they want to lose. And if they can bring their best player on, then they're going to do it. And they have. So it's just something for Gosport to think about. But Gosport now just trying to start as they ended the first half.
With another goal.
Wow, they're certainly trying to get out there, but here come Chesham on the attack.
Well, it was hard in there coming forward, but a ball has been switched as Finley Walshsmith, he headers one away. Still in Chesham possession as Obi passes it down into Lafler. Lafler, he passes one back into Obi. Now Edwards. He plays a through ball into Harding. Harding, 25 yards away from goal. He passes to Obi in his left-hand flank. Obi up against Finn Walshsmith. The ball has been delivered in the centre of the box, but it's been headed away by Charlie Vasmer. Now Gallimore, 20 yards away from goal. He passes one out wide into Edwards. But the ball, it's been intercepted by Rory Williams. Now he clears one forward into Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden gets a head on it, but it falls straight to Murphy. And it goes back into Chesham possession. Now Uala, the goalkeeper, he comes far out of his goal. Dan Wooden applying heavy pressure to the goalkeeper and forcing a mistake where the pass, it falls to Rory Williams. Now Rory Williams, he's just saying to the boys, come on, get forward. Let's try and get this 4th goal. But it is Gosport 3, Chesham 2. And for anyone just tuning in now, we couldn't have witnessed the much better first half. And with German coming on, we could see more goals in this second half. Because Bradley Tarbuck, he was originally chasing down the ball, but it's being cleared away by Adi Bayo. Now Charlie Vasmer, he tries to connect with the ball, but that's horrendous first touch. German gets on the edge of it as he passes it into Edwards. Edwards back to German. German tries to chip a ball in towards that top right corner, completely missing. And considering his scoring rate, I don't think anyone would have expected that. The chip, it was pretty atrocious, and you would have just expected a bit more power there and a bit more accuracy. But in the end, it wasn't the greatest shot from German, and he won't want to watch that back. It's Rory Williams. He shoots the ball forward, and it's going to find Rafa Ramos. Rafa runs onto the ball. Rafa through on goal. But in the end, he plays such a simple shot straight down the throat of goalkeeper Uala. He was through on goal, and I think the stress just got to him there.
Yeah, too much time. And it was a big opportunity to miss, because if that Gosport had won 4-2, then suddenly that makes Chesham need to work harder, think a little bit more about what they want to do for the rest of the game. And big chance missed so soon in the second half.
Edwards and Tarbuck currently battling within the centre circle. Tarbuck nudging Edwards to the floor. The referee does blow up for a Chesham foul. Edwards complaining it wasn't a further sanction, but it's a free kick taken quickly. Edwards coming forward in the centre circle. He tries to play a through ball into Ricardo German, but it's being cut out by Charlie Vasmer. Just currently a lot of headers going on. As Charlie Vasmer currently hoofs one forward. Can it find Rafa once again? He's battling up against 14. And you just heard there, AFC Tottenham, they lead 3-0. So that's guaranteed their second place spot. So they will, if they win both their playoffs, they will have the final at home at the Snow Stadium. But still, Dutchy Hollands, 30 yards away from goal. Can we win and can we get that third place? We still need Salisbury to slip against Hanwell. But Dutchy Hollands, he looks up. Currently nobody's in front of him, so he's going to have to chip one out wide into the right-hand flanking Kavanagh into Tarbuck. It's a lovely overlap back into Kavanagh. Kavanagh swipes one towards goal. Forces a good save from Muala. Dan Woodard snatches the ball off of the keeper, falls to the floor, and eventually Adebayo could get on the ball and clear one away. Just the calamity of mistakes there from both sets of teams, and Gosport unlucky just not to capitalise with that. It's Danny Hollins, he receives the ball, but the flag does go up for offside. Really end-to-end stuff here. 5-1. So it'd be interesting to see if Bracknell are losing. Bracknell are currently drawing 0-0. So I don't know the implications yet. We'll see at full time.
We can start working it out. This is up to date, so let's look at it.
Well, AFC Tottenham, they'll be guaranteeing that second place spot.
Bracknell, if they're drawing, will have 68, so they're still there.
Oh, yeah.
They're still there. Bracknell must lose and Merthyr must win if there's going to be a switch.
Well, we'll keep you all updated on Gosport Radio. Still currently Gosport are leading on the 51st minute. And there has been,
I was going to say they just need the results to go that way. They need to win, and then Bracknell just need, but they must lose. Bracknell must lose.
Well, it's a very interesting debate now involving it.
But the relegation battle's a bit tight.
I was going to say it's starting to heat up. We've seen a couple of teams get relegated already, but still a lot of.
Well, Swindon 1-0 up against Winchester, putting them on 49 points. Okay. Just trying to do the math.
Oh, I'm going to have to cut you off. It's Harding. He's coming forward. He's got German on the overlap. German through on goal, and he slots one towards the near post. It's an easy save from Toby Stewart, who gets down low to make that save. And it was Chesham on the counter-attack there. And German, the man causing the problems once again. Obviously, seen him come on in the second half, and he's causing the problems here. We're just still trying to work out this table. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on at the moment. There's around 20 different situations which could happen today if results stay the way they are. And Harvey Root, it looks as though he was set through on goal as he nods one down into Rafa Ramos. Rafa battling with Gallimore before eventually one being cleared away. Charlie Vasmer, he's going to get on the end of this clearance as he passes one back into Roy Williams. We've seen him do a couple of brilliant crosses already. And I've just seen Pat and Joe there. They've told Antonio Diaz to warm up. So I wouldn't be surprised if we could see him play. Now, Harry Kavanagh, he's on this right-hand flank. He's got Tarbuck on the overlap, but passes it into the centre into Dutchy Hollins. Hollins into Rue, but he loses the ball into Lafleur. And now Chesham can come forward with Hardin. He's got options arriving in front of him. One of them being German, and he does choose that option. German coming down this right flank, just by the corner flag, around 10 yards away. So he passes back into Lafleur. Lafleur passing it into Edwards, now arriving in the centre of the park. From striker, he's moved into a more calm position role now. Back into Lafleur. He's got Adebayo arriving on the overlap, but Tarbuck, he shuts it down as he's pushed into the railings and does well enough to win Gosport a goal kick. Now, it's good defending there from the right wing, doing his defensive duties, and you can see that exchange there, allowing for Kavanagh to get up and also Tarbuck to get back. So good combination between those two today, even though we haven't seen too much from Kavanagh today.
Tell you what, I've been doing the maths since you've been commentating, and it is so tight down there. It is mega tight. I mean, you're going to have currently you've got 3 teams on 48 points. Okay, with Swindon winning, they're on 49. That's Beaconsfield in the drop zone.
Wow. Oh, so
That's Beaconsfield in the drop zone because Hayes and Yedding are on 46. Oh, yeah, no, sorry, it's yeah, no, it is. They're down there. They're down there.
well, considering Beaconsfield, they took 3 points from us already. I mean, you would not have put Beaconsfield down as one of the teams to be going down.
Because Plymouth and Beaconsfield are drawing 0-0 against each other. Hanwell 2-0 down at Salisbury. Swindon winning. Hayes and Yedding are 0-0 with Bracknell. So, gee whiz. I wouldn't like to be down there.
Well, it's scary, and it's also scary near the playoffs. Merthyr, they're winning 5-1, but Bracknell, they have to lose in order for Merthyr to get that playoff position. You're listening on Gosport Radio. 55 minutes have been played here at the AI Stadium. It's still Gosport 3, Chesham 2. As German plays the ball out wide into Jones. Jones battling, but Christian Campbell being the successor in that battle. So he passes back into Rory Williams. Williams plays one into Campbell. Campbell, it's a good step over from the left wing as he originally loses Obi there, and he passes it back into Dutchy Hollins. Hollins into Finn Walshsmith. Walshsmith passes out wide into Tarbuck, still in Gosport's own half. German trying to snack a ball back, but Tarbuck doing well as he passes it back into Charlie Vasmer. Vasmer into Roy Williams. Now into Dutchy Hollins in the central circle. Already 1 goal this afternoon. He passes it into fellow goal scorer Dan Wooden. Now Dan Wooden arriving in the box. He is brought down in the box. Gosport players are appealing for a penalty. The referee waving away the appeals there. And for me, it wasn't the penalty.
No,
Dan Wooden just going down way too easy there.
Yeah, not for me there, James, I have to say. But I've just seen a crucial goal at the bottom. Swindon now 2-0 up against Winchester. That is
mental.
I'll tell you what, unless Beaconsfield score, they're going down. That's crazy.
Well, it's absolutely mental. And Jeremy, this may be a question for you here. I don't think I can answer that. Is Carson the original drummer for Gosport Borough? I can't say I know Carson.
Who?
Carson?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know who that is. Yeah, I know who that is. Yes. That's Barry Stafford's boy, I think.
Oh, wow. Well. Well, like I said, we haven't really mentioned it too many times this broadcast, but there's so many people around the AI Stadium today.
Now, James,
it'd be very interesting to see. Must be way over 1,000.
It will be over 1,000. It's just a question about how much.
Exactly. It's just a shame we can. Well, if we can somehow get playoffs, you just have to wonder what that playoff. Well, the attendance will be.
You mean a home playoff?
Yeah, exactly.
Forget it. Not the way things are looking at the moment. We're doing our bit, but unfortunately, so is Salisbury.
Well, I was going to say, with AFC Tottenham, we'll never find out the proper attendance. I'd probably say 5,000 there.
But yeah, it's looking more and more likely that we're off to the Raymax Stadium on Wednesday evening for our semi-final. And it's a shame that we didn't get the home semi-final that we were sort of set to have, but that's what's happened and that's what we're going to have to deal with now.
Well, we've had good fixtures with Salisbury in the half. Well, the pass, sorry, not the half. But Christian Campbell, he has been given a corner and he's going to be the man taking it. A lot of Gosport players moving around in a circle and it falls towards the near post. But it ricochets back into Christian Campbell. It's a good fake pass which sees him go past Dobby. And now Dodgy Hollins dices a ball towards the bottom left corner. Forces a good save from Uwala. Once again getting down low, just getting a hand to that ball, pushing it out. And Dan Wooden unlucky, not with a follow-up. But Gosport, they've got another corner. Not a corner, sorry, another throw-in. With Christian Campbell, he passes it back into Roy Williams. Williams up against Hardin. As Williams has to pass back into Vasmus. There's just too many Chesham players in front of him there. The Generals, they can't find any form of shots at the moment. It's all been Gosport in the second half, following how they started, well, the first half. Now Tarbuck, just by the Gosport dugouts. He passes it back into Finley Walsh-Smith. Now switched out wide into Rory Williams. Rory, he looks up. He's got Dutchy Hollins next to him. He's got Harvey Rue in front of him, but chooses to pass it back into Hollins. Hollins still in his own half. 60 minutes played here. Still Gosport 3, Chesham 2. Gosport are currently edging the 3 points. But there's a lot of scores going around in the Southern Premier League, and we have got a big goal in that relegation battle. Plymouth Parkway, they found a goal. So it looks as though Beaconsfield, if nothing changes, they will be the team dropping down. But Christian Campbell, he's on the edge of the Chesham box as he passes out wide into Harvey Rue. And that is a terrible cross from Harvey Rue. Goes way over the bar and returns back into Chesham possession. But it gives me a time to run you through the results. Plymouth Parkway 1, Beaconsfield 0, Bracknell 0, Hazelmead 0, Didcot 0, Hendon 2, Dorchester 0, AFC Totton 3, Gosport 3, Chesham 2, Hungerford 1, Basingstoke 0, Merthyr 5, Harrow 1, Salisbury 2, Hanwell 0, Swindon 2, Winchester 0, Tiverton 1, Sholin 0, Morton and Hersham 2, Pooltown 0.
Number 10, Antonio Diaz replacing number 3, Rory Williams.
As you just heard from Jeremy there will be a Gosport substitution. It's going to be our skipper coming off Rory Williams as he passes the armband. I would imagine the armband would be going to Charlie Vasmer. I think that's... Oh, Dan Wooden, sorry. It's gone to Dan Wooden. But it's going to be our skipper coming off Rory Williams and in return Antonio Diaz. And Jeremy, I'm not sure. Would you say that's the right decision there?
One eye on the playoffs. I'll tell you, that's exactly what that's been done for. We said earlier he's struggling. You could see it. And as things stand, doesn't matter. Despite our best efforts, it looks as though we're off to Salisbury on Wednesday. So that's been done to keep him fresh for Wednesday, because you cannot overstate the importance of a player like Rory in a situation like that. Definitely. So you're tweeting, that's fine. So I'll carry on and keep the listeners going. So Diaz involved early doors there, and Dan Wooden trying to drop him back to fight for the ball in the centre circle. But Chesham just trying to get an attack going that might lead to an equaliser. Lefleur down this near side links up quite well there with Jordan Edwards, the scorer first for the Generals. Now, the ball being recycled from the back with Kieran Murphy, the captain here. Chesham not in a hurry at the moment. They're just stroking the ball around their own back line in their own third of the pitch here. In the end, it's down to Zaki Uwala, the goalkeeper, to launch it forward. A bit of route one there from the Chesham goalkeeper, but it leads to nothing. But they do have possession once more. And once more, the Generals will try and sort of engineer something that might trouble Gosport Borough. Lefleur, against his old club, tries to wriggle his way past Kavanagh. Doesn't quite manage to do it. He's got to sort of hold the ball up, drop it back there to Edwards. Edwards having a look for himself. Hasn't got too many options in front or to the side, but he goes to the only one that he can. That's to Sean Gallimore. Gallimore spreads the ball out to the right, the wide right, and back exchange of passes back to him. So Chesham just being patient at the moment, but there's no real end product to this passing. But they're going to have another go, though, with Murphy, just that tall, imposing figure in the central defence.
Finley Walsh-Smith darting down this right-hand channel, trying to play across into Rafa Ramos. Rafa Ramos on the edge of the D. It looked as though there might have just been a handball there from Murphy, the referee, and there were very little appeals from both sets of teams. But the referee does blow up for, I want to say, a foul there from Finley Walsh-Smith. But at the same time, there will be a substitution, and it's going to be number 7 coming on, which is Bradley Clayton. So Clayton on, Obi on. Off, sorry, yeah.
So 7 on, 9 off. Yeah. It's not been done yet, anyway.
Well, Chesham, they're just trying to eventually clear it, but Gosport still applying the most heavy pressure before eventually Antonio Diaz, he brought down Loeffler there, and now the referee, he has blown up for that substitution, and it's Obi coming off and James Clayton coming on.
Replacing number 9, Ogo Obi.
Well, James Clayton, he's another player with that baggage of experience. It's an attack and change, but he plays in the same position, obviously. So is it just the case of fresh legs, this substitution?
Potentially. They're trying to change it up. They're trying to sort of keep the momentum going there. They obviously don't want to lose this game, and why would they? You know, they want to bow out the Southern League on a high. There's professional pride. I think anybody that thought that they'd come here and being on the beach was mistaken.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the free kick is being taken by Uwala, nearly finding Tarbuck, but it has found instead substitution Clayton. Clayton trying to pass back into Jones, and he does do that. Jones into Gallimore, 35 yards away from goal, and edging closer towards their own half, as now they are in their own half with Murphy. Now Edwards in the centre of the park. He passes one forward into Ricardo German. German initially stumbling, but he gets back immediately as he passes one to the right of him into Clayton. Clayton now edging closer towards the edge of the box. And it's a pass, and I'm not sure how Harden hasn't finished it from the back of the net there. It was a good pass from Loeffler. He was starting down that right-hand channel before eventually releasing a through ball. Harden open in front of goal, backheeled the shot, just going wide of the left post. And Jeremy, there's a good chance there for Harden to find the back of the net.
Absolutely, and it just shows you can't relax even for a second. Chesham with their quality will be able to hurt you at almost, not quite at will, but they certainly have the ability to do it. So you're tweeting, so here we go again. Gosport trying the Route 1 method. Finn Walsh-Smith, he's put his hands up in apology there. Looks a little disappointed, but never mind. You know, he's got his best years are ahead, not behind. And I think these games will be the making of him rather than the breaking of him. So, yeah, he's a good lad. Didn't quite work out for him that time. Now, here's a central figure, the Chesham Murphy on the ball, just spreading it out wide to the right-hand side now. Chesham, again, just looking to build, and Tashan Gallimore there, a key figure in the midfield. But here's another one, Edwards. I tell you what, that was a spill of late challenge for Kavanagh. Didn't connect. If he did, I think he'd have been in the referee's book with a yellow card there. But Edwards continues down the left-hand side and cuts in field, still in possession. And now he tries to tee up. I think that might have been... Yeah, didn't quite see who tried to tee up there, but it's Clayton. But Gosport on the attack here with Kavanagh. Switches it right to Wooden here. Wooden charging down the right-hand side. He's got Rafa Ramos in the middle. And this is Tarbuck, I think. Wooden now inside the area, plays it back to Diaz, goes for the shot, blocked immediately. The ball left his foot here. Gosport starting to turn the screw on Chesham now. Chesham have had the lion's share of the possession this half, but Gosport there threatening, James.
Still, Gosport 3, Chesham 2. You're listening to Gosport Radio. It's Christian Campbell down on that left-hand flank as he passes it back into Dutchy Hollins. Hollins into Rue. He's just looking up, trying to find whatever options he has in front of him. There's not really too many players making that options, but he has to pass it to Tarbuck. Tarbuck dancing his way through the defence before eventually releasing the ball. It looks as though the pass was just trying to find that combination of the run with Dan Wood in there. But Uwala came out and collected it. And now Chesham back on the attack. It's Lafleur coming down this left-hand flank. James Harden, he's asking for the pass. But Lafleur, he passes it into the centre of the park, into Edwards. Edwards with a lovely chip, finding Ricardo German. Ricardo German, he's in acres of space in the left-hand flank. Ricardo German dancing past multiple players, shooting towards the goal and sending an effort just wide. Ricardo German there on the edge of the box, wraps his boot once again around the ball, curling an effort just wide of the far post. And it wasn't too far off, and Gosport starting to ride their luck once again. It's going to be a goal kick taken. Toby Stewart taking this goal kick, passing it into Charlie Vosmer.
I think it is, you know.
Now Finley Walsh-Smith.
No, it's not.
Coming down the right-hand channel. Still in his own half, trying to get a pass, but it's been intercepted by Edwards, but luckily ricocheted back to the young right-back. Edwards frustrated with it, but Finley Walsh-Smith recovering well and doing his defensive duties once again this afternoon. Now Hollins in his own half. He chips the ball into the run of Christian Campbell. Now Christian Campbell using his pace, coming down this left-hand channel. He's got bags of National League experience and he's showcased it here tonight. Unleashing a shot and it's gone far over, hitting someone on the bus by the looks of it, before eventually smashing into one of the cards. And that's not one of Christian Campbell's finest shots. But either way, he's been outstanding today.
1-2-1. Try and announce it. 1-1-2-1.
And we will be able to hear Gosport's attendance here.
Yeah, got it. Now would be a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, the official attendance at the AEI Stadium this afternoon is 1,121. Another show of outstanding support. Thank you very, very much. So 1-1-2-1. Thank you.
Well, another just showcase of how good our fans are today. Brilliant attendance. Unlucky not to match our best one, but still.
Not by much. You
No?
missed it by much.
I'm trying to think. What was our best one? Was it the Salisbury?
No, it was after that. It was Winchester City 1137.
Oh, yeah. That was a good game, though. But Chesham, they have been given a free kick following a challenge from Charlie Vasmer. Chesham, they've been given a free kick around 20 yards away from goal. While there has been that stoppage in play, I'll run you through the results in the Southern Premier League. Beaconsfield 1, Plymouth Parkway 1. So Beaconsfield, they're back in the race and trying to avoid that drop. Bracknell 1, Hazelmead 0. So it looks ever more likely Bracknell, they will be getting that final playoff spot. Didcot 0, Hendon 2, Dorchester 0, AFC Totton 4. Gosport 3, Chesham 2, Hungerford 1 with a red card, Basingstoke 0, Merthyr 6, Harrow 1 also with a red card, Salisbury 2, Hanwell 0 unfortunately, Swindon Supermarine 2, Winchester 0, Tiverton 1, Sholing 0, and Walton and Hersham 2, Paultown 0. And we're just about to see the free kick here in play now. There's around 3 players gathering around that free kick position, James Harden, Edwards and substitute Harden. I wonder which one's going to be taking it. Edwards is taking the bulk of the free kicks in the first half, but could we see a change of tactics here? You've got to wonder, but there is a four-man Gosport wall. The Chesham players unhappy with where it's being placed. And it's been taken quick. And it's gone under the wall. In the end, it was Harding with that final touch. Guiding a shot under the wall. But Toby Stewart, he could see it coming from a mile away. Got down low to make that save. And it was an easy recovery from the keeper there. And a wasted free kick opportunity.
Yeah, it was. You've just read the results out. Bracknell winning. I think that means Merthyr, no matter how much they throw at it, aren't going to get into those playoffs. But Swindon still beating Winchester City. So they... Sorry, yes, it is. Yes. So I'll tell you what, that still means that Beaconsfield are in the drop they don't want to be.
Well, we'll keep you all updated here on Gosport Radio, but it's still Gosport 3, Chesham 2. Currently, Charlie Phasma, he has the ball, taking all the time in the world as he passes out wide into Christine Campbell. We're still waiting to see our first goal in the second half. We've seen 5 in the first half, and we might see one here. It's a misplaced pass falls to Harding. Harding darting down this right-hand channel, doing well to get a pass across, but he finds the feet of Charlie Phasma. He wasn't going to let Creighton get on the end of the ball there, and Charlie Phasma, he plays the pass forward into Kavanagh into Diaz. And Jeremy, it just looks as though this attacking threat from Gosport, we haven't really seen it too much in the last 10 minutes. And it looks as though there might be a bit of tiredness now lifting into the game.
Well, it's been a breathless game, isn't it? End to end, both teams giving it absolutely everything they have. And Gosport obviously will be aware of the playoff situation. As things stand, it doesn't really matter if you push for further goals, as long as they stay, it looks as though it's fourth place no matter what now, doesn't it? So maybe the word's got out on the pitch. Maybe they've just eased it back a bit. Who knows? You could be in a situation now where there's nothing riding on the game anymore.
Well, I suppose the one thing that is riding on the game is that momentum. And I'm not sure if you've seen over there, but there is a pyro going on. So I'm not sure what's going to be happening there.
I don't think that's going to be good, as long as it doesn't end up on the pitch. But either way, I think the stewards are going to need to get involved in that.
Well, it makes for some cool images from Tom. So we look forward to seeing those later at least. But no, Chesham, they've been fed a ball. Ricardo German behind the Gosport defence. German entering the box as he once again whips the ball high of the top right corner. And if I'm being honest, Jeremy, German's finishing today has been far from good, considering he's the league's top goal scorer.
Yeah, I have to say I'm concerned by what's going on behind that goal, the way to our right. It was a Gosport substitution.
Well, it's going to be Dutchy Hollins coming off, and in his replacement, it's going to be Sam Hookey coming on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gosport Borough substitution coming on. Number 12, Sam Hookey, replacing number 19, Danny Holland.
14 for 12.
14
for 12 for them.
Coming on, number 12, James Taylor, replacing number 14, Owen Case. Yeah, so James is tweeting, and I've just had to do the match day announcing, but things seem to have calmed down. There's both teams making changes, but we're in a bit of a no man's land situation now, whereby Gosport will no doubt be aware of what Salisbury are doing. Therefore, it doesn't really matter what happens now. But yeah, from the momentum point of view, you want a good performance, a rousing performance today, and a good win.
Well, hopefully we can get that win. We're currently still leading here at the AI Stadium, 3-2. And Kavanagh, he's strolling down this right-hand channel. He passes one central into Tarbuck. Tarbuck tries to flick one back into Antonio Diaz, but it's come back to Finley Walsh-Smith, around 40 yards away from goal. But Kavanagh, he tries to play one into Tarbuck, and it boomerangs back to the defender. Now Kavanagh lifting one into Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden with the first-time touch, guiding the pass on to Bradley Tarbuck, right by that right corner flag, before eventually Jones can hit one out for a Gosport throw-in. It's going to be Harry Kavanagh taking his throw-in. And it looks as though the pyro situation, it's all cleared out. Can't really see a pyro now. So that's good news.
Yeah, I know it looks impressive, but I'll tell you what, it can land you in serious trouble with the league, especially if that then ends up on the pitch, which was the risk. Not meaning to sound like a killjoy by any means, but maybe not the time or the place. Maybe at the end when the game's over, and because there's no doubt in my mind the players will do a
round of applause. Yeah,
because it could very well be our last home game of the season.
Well, it's Uwala with the goal kick, and it finds the head of Charlie Vasma, and then the header finds the back of Dan Wooden, but somehow Dan Wooden, he still manages to keep hold of the possession. Dan Wooden coming down this left-hand flank as he passes it back into substitute Harvey Rue. Oh yeah, I think I can smell that as well. But it falls back into Uwala in goal. And now Jones, he passes it into substitute upward. Clayton trying to look for a pass, and he passes it back into Lafleur. Now Edwards in the centre of the park into Gallimore. Gallimore, he's got Rafa next to him, but does well to pass it back into teammate Edwards. Edwards out wide into Jones. Jones into Clayton. Clayton back to Jones. And just a bit of constant passing here from Chesham. They're starting to take their time, working an attack. As it's Murphy who passes one into Edwards. Edwards chipping a ball, trying to find Hardin. It's a good touch from Hardin, which sees Ricardo German get on the end of the pass. Ricardo German still inside the D as he passes out wide into Leifton. Lafleur into Edwards. Edwards chips the ball into Lafleur before eventually being cleared away by Finley Walsh-Smith. And Dan Wooden trying to get on the end of this clearance on the halfway line. Dan Wooden tossing and turning by the Chesham dugouts. Dan Wooden playing a lovely ball into Antonio Diaz. Diaz in acres of space as he's coming forward. He passes it back into Bradley Tarbuck. And for the time, that was a pretty good pass. And now Antonio Diaz, he plays out wide into Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden with a low-driven shot, and it goes straight into the palms of Uwala in goal. Pretty poor shot there from Dan Wooden. Just unlucky there, though, from Gosport. It was a good build-up play, but in the end, just little output in the final finish. But now it's Edwards coming forward. Currently in the centre circle as he passes it into Gallimore. Gallimore, he's got Clayton arriving in front of him. And now it's Clayton, I want to say. Clayton down the right. He passes it into Scott. And it's good defending there from Tarbuck as he passes it back into Christian Campbell as he wins it back for the yellow possession. But Rafa, he loses the ball, but it looked as though he was going to win it back. But it was a good bit of midfield play there from Gallimore. And now Lafleur.
Sorry, James, just doing the maths. Well, there's not much going on out there. Beaconsfield are going down as things stand.
Well,
It's so tight. But at the moment, it's goal difference. It's deciding it.
Well, Clayton, he was trying to get past Finley Walsh-Smith and Kavanagh there, but Finley Walsh-Smith, he got the better of the midfielder there. And Gosport, they've won back possession now. Hooky coming forward as he plays a through ball into Rafa Ramos. Rafa, he's got 1 goal and 1 assist this game, and he passes it back into Tarbuck. And as you heard there from Jeremy, Beaconsfield, they're currently the team tipped for relegation, and it looks as though, well, it's unfortunate for Beaconsfield. They have got points against Gosport this season, and I think that's what makes it even more surprising, considering just how good they've been.
I think the disappointing thing for me is that a lot of the bottom teams and the bottom 4 teams have actually got a win against us this season. But let's come back to that.
Antonio Diaz, he's arriving outside of the edge of the D. He plays a pass into Rafa Ramos. Can Rafa find his second of the game? He tosses and turns. He eventually gets his shot across, but he fires high of the top left corner. And in the end, Rafa, he's had a lot of good shots this game, but that wasn't one of the good ones. That'll be going in his highlight blooper later.
Yeah, it's a shame. I'm just I'm just having a scan around, but Hanwell are safe at the moment, so it could be a situation where they're not going to put quite so much effort in at Salisbury. It's a situation that sort of suits both teams at the moment. But it's, if you look at the league table as it is now, you've got 3 teams on 48 points as things stand. Okay, Beaconsfield being the worst off of those, right? Swindon 2-0 up are on 49 along with Sholing, but the bar is at Beaconsfield. They're going to be going down with Hayes, Harrow and Didcot.
Wow, Hayes as well, another big team going down. And well, there are a lot of big teams currently going down in the Southern Premier League. A massive day in the Southern Premier League. It's obviously the last day for a lot of clubs, but we've still got, we've either got 1 or 2 games remaining, depending how well we do in the playoffs. But Rafa Ramos, he's coming forward for Gosport. He's going to take a shot. It takes a ricochet. It might just fall to Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden receives the ball in the box as he passes back into Harvey Rue. Rue teeing up a shot, but the shot takes a deflection from Murphy there, and it goes out for a Gosport corner. You're listening to Gosport Radio, and 73 minutes have been played here. It's still Gosport 3, Chesham 2. And as we just said, there's still a lot of results in the Southern Premier League. They're going to have a massive effect on the league standards. Who's going to be relegated? Who's going to be getting that playoff spot? All these answers will be answered at full time. Not too long left to play now.
No, 13 minutes to go. We're heading for fourth, which I still think is a tremendous achievement, considering what happened last season. The club has made great progress.
Well, Harry Kavanagh, he's taking this corner. It's a very hard hit one. It does find Harvey Rue, who takes a shot.
Alex Barson coming on.
Yeah, well, it's Alex Barson coming on. The Czech Republican. The question is, who will he be coming on for? I could very well see him coming on for Tarbach. That's the
It's
only.
going to be one of the forward line, because now Pat and Joe are thinking about Wednesday, possibly Wooden, just to give him some.
Maybe even Rafa.
One of the two of them, because you're now thinking about Salisbury on Wednesday, aren't you? Because you've got 13 minutes left of this. And now you're at a point, James, where today's result is irrelevant.
Well, I think they boys down there, they must have already been given the results. I bet they're checking it all down there.
They'll know. There's no question of them not knowing.
But the Gosport players, they don't know that on the pitch. Well, they might not know that at the moment. As Rafa Ramos, he passes the ball back into Tarbach. Tarbach switches it into Antonio Diaz, still in Gosport's own half. Gosport looking for that fourth goal just to kill off this game. As Diaz, he lifts the ball far and wide into Tarbach. As Tarbach nods it down into Christine Campbell. Campbell just going to take his time with this bit of play here, trying to escape the run of Clayton as he passes forward into Tarbach. Rue passes a lovely through ball into Tarbach. Tarbach might have an opportunity to run free in front of him, but it's good defending there from Chesham, who tracked back well, but still in Gosport possession. Tarbach lifts a deep ball into Kavanagh. Kavanagh, it's a good first touch, which sees him do a pass into Antonio Diaz. Antonio Diaz currently battling with Edwards as he passes it back into Tarbach. Tarbach outside of the D, back into Antonio Diaz. Diaz, can he get a shot across? No. But he passes it back into Samuel Hookie. We saw him get a smashing goal against, I think it was Sholin on Boxing Day, from a similar position. So could we see him get another goal now?
Who knows? But that was good play from Diaz there. He's actually having a good game since he's come on. So, yeah, good for him.
Well, Christine Campbell, he's won back the ball, but it's a heavy touch which sees Edwards get on the end of the ball. Edwards currently battling with Campbell and Kavanagh as he passes it back into Luffler. Luffler into Adibayi there. And Chesham just working it out from the back. Still, Alex Barcy, he still hasn't come onto the pitch. We're just awaiting that substitution. But at the moment, it looks as though both teams, they're just kind of settling for this win now, the Gosport win. I wouldn't really say there's too much emotive for either team. But Clayton, he's coming down the right and manages to do well, getting past Tarbach and Rafa there, still battling. And Clayton, he gets past the both of them there, so he passes it back into Gallimore. Gallimore, he passes one into Edwards. Edwards, 30 yards away from goal, passes it out wide into Laffler. Laffler, he's up against Kavanagh here, and the step overs gets him past the right back. Still battling as Kavanagh tracks back well. Laffler passes it back into Edwards. Edwards, 25 yards away from goal, tries to play a through ball into German, but it's been cut out there by Tarbach. Back in Gosport possession. Walsh Smith, he passes the ball forward into Samuel Hookie. Samuel Hookie, he might have a chance to run free here. Samuel Hookie, he passes it out wide into Dan Wooden. He's got Kavanagh arriving on the overlap, but Dan Wooden chooses to pass back into the midfielder and Sam Hookie. Hookie, back into Kavanagh. Kavanagh, back into Hookie. Hookie passes it into Diaz as he passes one back into Kavanagh. Kavanagh into Hookie. He passes it into Dan Wooden. And Gosport, they're just trying to create this perfect attack here. As Tarbach, he's been given a ball 20 yards away from goal. But there's just so many Chesham defenders currently back, and Gosport trying to find it hard, just trying to get past that back line. Currently unsuccessful at doing that in the second half. We have got 3 goals against them in the first half, though, which gives us the lead. As Rafa, he puts in a ball, which finds the feet of Murphy, who hits one back. It finds Christine Campbell that clearance. Now Christine, he might have a chance to put a ball in the box. But it's a short pass into Tarbach. And now Antonio Diaz. Once again, Kavanagh, he's been fed a ball. And he's put a ball in, trying to find the head of Dan Wooden. But Adibayi, he heads it clear. And now Chesham, they come forward. Harding, He chips the ball forward and it finds the runner of Edwards. Edwards, it's 3 against 2 as he passes one into Ricardo German. Ricardo German, he has all the time in the world. Originally stumbling across his shot there. And now Edwards, he's been given a ball. But that's brilliant defensive play there from Bradley Tarbot. You can see him out of breath there. But it was brilliant defensive play. And Chesham, it was a 3 against 2 there. And another chance where they should have probably done better attacking wise.
Yeah, no, I was surprised there that he didn't do better, but the Gosport showed a lot of determination and good defensive work there to keep them out. We've got just under about 8 minutes to go here, James, and situation unchanged with playoffs. Salisbury still 2-0 up, which means we are still going there on Wednesday.
Diaz passes it into Harvey Rue on the edge of the box, but it's been carelessly given away by Adi Bai, who clears one. But the clearance once again falls to the boys in yellow with Antonio Diaz. He tries to play a through ball into Dan Wooden, but instead finds the gloves of Uwala.
Tell you what, Hayes and Yedding have pulled a goal back at Bracknell, so if they can get another one, then the picture's going to change a little bit. So, yeah.
Well, I can't really see Bracknell losing this game, so it's very likely they'll be getting it. And Gosport, they will be making their third and final substitution. It's going to be Charlie Fussmer coming off, and it's going to be Alex Barca, Czech Republican, coming on.
Coming on, number 20, Alex Barca, replacing number 6, Charlie Fussmer.
Well, once again, Jeremy, it's like what you said. I think the substitutions being made, they're just injury-wise. Pat and Joe know what they're doing, and they're just trying to keep the players fit now.
Well, the good news, I think, is that Corey Jordan should be fit for the playoff on Wednesday, which means I can see Wussmer and Jordan being partnered at the back. Now, that's huge, really, when you think about the quality you're going up against. Salisbury, I mean, Tottenham are just flying, but Salisbury are solid. They've got some equally good players, like Noah Coppin, for example. And, yeah, it's something that you want. You want a good, solid defensive partnership there. And it looks as though they might have it. So that's good news. Keep Wasmer fit and healthy and fresh. And, yeah, I think there's a few players missing through injury, but I think you're going to see the strongest available Gosport Borough team out there on Wednesday evening. But as things stand, that is how we are.
Well, currently it's still looking good for Gosport at the moment. And we have just made our final substitution, like you just said there. And it was Alex Barson, the man coming on. And, well, the free kick, it's just been taken straight away into Uwala. Uwala, he's going to be coming forward, way outside of his box. And he's going to play a ball forward. Originally trying to find a pass of Harden there, and it does find a head of Harden instead. And Alex Barster gets his first touch as he heads one back into the Chesham half. And Murphy has to play it inside his own half. Murphy, he's got all the time in the world. No Gosport players currently around him. But that's a careless pass into Dan Wooden. Nowhere near him. But Dan Wooden gets on the edge of the pass as he passes it into Alex Barster. Alex Barster taking a shot, originally going towards that bottom left corner. Uwala has to get down low to get the save. He gathers it immediately there, and it's a good save from the Chesham keeper there. Played 40 games this season, a number of clean sheets. He hasn't got a clean sheet today, just letting the 2 goals. But let me tell you, Gosport, they've had their fair share of chances today, and we could have seen way more goals. It was a 5-goal thriller inside the first half, but we haven't seen any goals in the second half. But Gosport, they are on the attack at the moment, as the ball is Christian Campbell. Campbell passes one into Finley Walsh-Smith. And now Kavanagh. Kavanagh tries to play a through ball Antonio Diaz, but Diaz, he just doesn't recognise the ball there, and it's a too hard hit pass from Kavanagh, and it sees it return back into Chesham possession, and it's a quick goal kick taken as it's passed into Edwards. Now played out in the right-hand flank in Chesham possession, still inside their own half, and it looks ever more likely Gosport will be keeping hold of the 3 points. But unfortunately, the 3 points, it won't mean anything unless Salisbury do drop points today. Currently, they're leading 2-0 against Hanwell. A lot of stuff going on in the relegation battle, which we will be reporting on that full time. And Gosport fans, you will have to watch out on our social media channels. We will have 2 interviews coming within the next couple of days. One coming from our young keeper, Toby Stewart, and one coming from our player of the season, Rafa Ramos. So we got a lot of good stuff coming on Gosport's social media, and we will be playing our playoff game on Wednesday. So you've got all to tune in for. And Gosport, we want to end the league season and perhaps our final home league game on a win. It's Bradley Tarbuck. He's now entering the Chesham box. maybe hoping to get a shot across. He does get his shot across, but he sends an effort just wide of the bottom left corner. And Uala, he's going to be taking this goal kick. But Tarbak, it's a good opportunity from the striker there. Just sending an effort just wide. But Uala, he's going to be taking the goal kick, and he smashes one forward. And it nearly finds German there, but it falls all the way back into Toby Student goal, who just gathers it and passes it forward into Finley Ball-Smith. And now Finley Ball-Smith, he's got options in front of him, but passes it to Samuel Hookie there. And Sam Hookie passes it into Christian Campbell. Like I just alluded to there, Gosport, they're just taking their time a bit more now. So he passes it into Alex Barca down this left-hand flank. Barca coming forward, but that's a heavy challenge from Murphy there. Murphy will be unlucky if he escapes the yellow. Oh, well, he is getting a card, we can confirm. It was a heavy challenge there on the Czech Republican. Unlucky not to injure Alex there. Bit reckless, but as a result, Gosport, they have been given a free kick 20 yards away from goal in this left-hand channel. Can Gosport make anything from it, though? That's the question. Really not too long left to play here. Just 2 minutes left of normal time. Still, Gosport 3, Chesham 2. Gosport, it looks ever more likely we will be keeping the 3 points.
Yeah, sorry, I've just sort of had other things to attend to for a minute. But yeah, it's been a brilliant performance to end our home season with, because unless Bracknell managed to upset Tottenham in the week, then this will be the last one for at home this year.
Definitely.
So, and what a way to finish. It's been amazing.
Well, you couldn't have asked for a much better game. And if we can record that 3-2 result, it's just going to be brilliant ending.
Absolutely.
But hopefully we might be able to get another goal as Antonio Diaz, he's on the end of the free kick. Harvey Roux taking a shot and it hits the crossbar. Just under the crossbar. And if Harvey Roux would have got that goal, it would have been similar to the Portchester one. And that surely would have been the goal of the season.
That would have been an absolute screamer, wouldn't it? That was something else.
Literally inches away.
Hit him like that.
Well, we saw at AFC Portchester when he hit a similar free kick, just inches away from being a sensational goal. And could that be the difference between us getting the 3 and 1 point? But Alex Barca, he gets on the end of a loose ball. Alex Barca tries to play a through ball into Dan Wooden. Once again, a hard hit ball with little communication between Dan Wooden and Barca there. But oh my words, how close were we to seeing that 4th goal? But now Murphy, he's got hold of the possession as he passes it into Lafleur and Chesham. They don't want to end on a sour note. Had such a brilliant season. And if they can snatch a point late on, I would imagine that would be a happy ending for them. But either way, they've got their promotion. They've got what they wanted this season. And you can only count that as a success. And we can now confirm there will be 5 minutes left to play of this full time.
5 minutes. Stoppage time. 5 minutes.
And Lafleur getting past multiple people there. And now Edwards taking a shot which flies high of the Gosport bar. And Jeremy, 5 minutes left to play. Can Gosport hold on to the win?
Hopefully so. Hopefully so. It'll be a lovely way to finish our home season and take some confidence up to Salisbury, because it's almost certainly what's happening now. I've just checked on Twitter, or X as it's known these days. Mr. Musk putting his mark on it. But anyway, yes, they're still 2-0 up. So, and Tottenham now 4-0 up. So it's going to be as you were, and it does mean we're off to the Ray Mackenhill Stadium on Wednesday. And yeah, it's going to be a tough game, but it would be lovely to go in on the back of beating the champions.
Well, the thing is about this playoff campaign, I can see any team going up. That's the surprising thing. Normally, there's one outstanding team, but Tottenham, I don't see why they can't go up. Exactly.
Flying, but I tell you what, Bracknell are not easy. When they get their act together, they are tough to beat.
Well, they got to the final last season, lost to Truro.
Yeah, Truro.
So why can't they get to the final this season?
It's possible, and they've got a good side down there. So
Barca strolling down this left-hand channel. Originally gets past 17 Adebayo there. He is brought down to the floor, but there's no foul given as Edwards, he passes the ball forward into Clayton. Clayton's dispossessed by Christian Campbell. Once again doing his defensive duties for this afternoon as he passes one forward into Harvey Roux. Just in the centre of the park. Now Alex Barca currently coming down as he passes it into Rafa, the man who's got a goal and assist. And Jeremy, for you, who's been the man of the match?
Tough call, actually. But for Gosport, I'm going to say it's tight. It's actually really hard to make the call, but I'm probably going to say Rafa.
I'd have to say Rafa as well. With a goal and assist.
But again, let's just see where this goes.
Well, Antonio Diaz, he's currently guiding past Edwards there as he eventually releases the ball into Barca. Barca feeds the ball into Diaz once again. Diaz places a lovely ball, but instead of finding Kavanagh at the back post, he instead finds Jones, who clears it into the run of Harden. Harden, he plays the ball into Edwards, but it's a heavy touch from Edwards, which sees Diaz get on the end of the ball once again. And Diaz, he's been one of those fine substitutions. He's looked really good coming on.
I'm going to say also an honourable mention to Finn Walsh-Smith, the way he's played. Gosport just not taking their chance there either. And also Danny Hollins has had a really good game, so has Campbell. You know, it's been a few good performances today.
Minutes left to play here at the AEI Stadium. You're listening to Gosport Radio. Still Gosport 3, Chesham 2. Now Christian Campbell, he's coming forward. Gets past multiple defenders. Can he get the final finish as he gets past the keeper as well? But it's a good final stop. And in the end, it goes out for a corner ball. Currently, the fans gathering around the gate looking to get their hero signatures. Sorry.
Yeah, and also an honourable mention to Toby Stewart, as he's been all season. So, yeah, I think...
well, I'd give every player a 10 out of 10 today, if I'm being honest.
Worked hard as a team and as a unit, definitely. I'd say that, without a shadow of a doubt. But,
yeah, definitely.
So we've got about 2 minutes left of these 5.
And Christian Campbell, he whips in the deep corner, finding the head of Sam Hookey, but the flag goes off for offside. And unfortunately, I think that may be the last attack.
I don't know. We've got another 90 seconds.
Oh, so. Still.
Yeah,
well,
because it's 5 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got about 90 seconds left. So it's time for somebody to do something. Possibly, James, the second half was always going to be a lot more sober. First half, absolutely breathless. Commentator's dream, that one.
Yeah, you couldn't have asked for much more. And Chesham, they are on the attack once again. Hookey heading it out, and Alex Barca following that header with another header back into the Chesham half. As Alex Barca, he tries to chase down the ball and does well enough to pass it on to Bradley Tarbach. It's 4 against 2 situation. Tarbach releases a shot and sends the ball just high of the top right corner. Wasn't far off. And now we've seen 3 good chances within the last 10 minutes. All brilliant chances and all goal of the season contenders if they would have hit the back of the net.
Absolutely. Well,
yeah.
I can say that Salisbury and Hanwell have just gone into their stoppage time period. They're just behind us, but Salisbury's still 2-0 up.
Kavanagh, he smashes one forward. Looks ever more likely. The time is running out here at the AEI Stadium, but Rafa, he gets on the end of a deep cross. Rafa plays the ball forward into Alex Barca. Barca going for a shot, and he finds the back of the net. Alex Barca finishes this contest on the 95th minute of added time. It was Rafa with a pass as he passed it into the Czech Republican, and then the substitute smashes one in the top corner once again. And I've said it a lot of times in the last 10 minutes. We've seen so many chances from 20 yards out, and this time it was Barca with a chance, and Barca doesn't miss from that range, and he finds the top left corner, giving Gosport the 4-2 lead, and that finishes the contest. And Gosport will finish their final home game on a 4-2 win.
Number 20, Alex Blosser!
Well, we were just saying there how we've missed so many good opportunities from that range. And Alex Barca, you must have heard me from the commentary lounge, because what a hit that was.
We've had it all today, haven't we? I've loved this. I just hope that, I don't think it will, but I hope the semi-final offers as much entertainment. But that was some goal. We've had some goals today. We really have. Well, I don't know. Sweet Caroline? Could do. Whoa! That's it. Thank you very much for your support this afternoon and this season, ladies and gentlemen. Your support as Gosport Borough fans has been nothing short of outstanding. So thank you very, very, very much. No matter what happens in the
and as you just heard there, it has finished here at the AEI Stadium in our final home game, most likely. It finishes Gosport 4, Chesham 2. It was goals from Alex Barca, Danny Hollins, Dan Wooden, and Rafa Ramos, and pretty much every player. They've all been outstanding today. Rafa, for me, has been our man of the match, a goal and assist. We got to say a big well done to the champions. They have lost 4-2 today, but no, it's been an outstanding contest. But, well, we'll run you through the final results in the Southern Premier League here. Plymouth Parkway, the game has finished there. It's Beaconsfield 1, Plymouth Parkway 1. So Beaconsfield's relegation is now being confirmed.
Yeah, it's a shame. But I'll tell you what, that's some game of Bracknell.
I was going to say, we're just about to get on to that. Bracknell 3, Hazen Yedden 3. So Hazen Yedden, if they can somehow find that another goal, then they'll be out of the relegation zone. And not only that, that will have a massive effect on the promotion race, as Bracknell, they won't be in the playoffs, and Merthyr, they will be in the playoffs.
Because Merthyr hammered Harrow 7-1. So
Well-
really, I mean, we need to be getting onto Twitter there and just seeing what's going on, because
Well, it's also finished at Didcot as they lose 2-1 to Hendon. Dorchester, they're still going, but they're out of the contest. As AFC Totten, they finished the game 4-0, confirming their, second place spot. It's finished here 4-2. Hungerford, they winning 1-0 against Basingstoke. And Merthyr, they've won 7-1 against Harrow. It's an outstanding result. And that must be one of the highest results in the Southern Premier League. Salisbury, they've beaten Hanwell 2-0. Swindon, they've won 3-0 against Winchester. Tiverton 1, Sholing 0. Morton and Hersham 3, Pooltown 0. And currently both sets of teams, they're both giving a round of applause to their fans. Chesham, they've got a fair few, they've got a lot of away fans come to the game today. But no, Gosport, we've easily got the most support, most expected. But we're just giving a warm round of applause for the fans who have been outstanding today. Unfortunately, it could very well be our last home game of the season, but what a way to finish. Gosport 4, Chesham 2.
absolutely amazing. What a game, and to beat the champions, no matter what happens from here, it's fantastic. But what a rousing win to end the season. It's been brilliant.
Well, Jeremy, I've got one question to finish it. Can Gosport go all the way? Can we get promotion?
Yes. Because I've said the playoffs are an absolute lottery. Nothing's a given at all. So, yeah, absolutely, why not? Let's see.
Salisbury most likely up next. We're still waiting that full-time whistle, but they are leading 2-0. So I would imagine that will be confirmation confirmed within the next couple minutes. But it's been an absolute joy doing the commentary today. Gosport, they finished the game 4-2. And Jeremy, you know how to end the episode. Final words, up the borough.
Well done, mate. Another good one.
Oh, thank you.
I just
Yeah.
said to your dad while you were